No, I'm asking of a layman.
Okay.
How many failure?
That's a very good question. You see, they had a study, and they found out that after interviewing about 500 successful businessmen, they found out that a lot of them fail, and they divide by the average, and they found out that they fail 3.8 times. In other words, that becomes a statistics, you see. If, for example, you are in a business and you fail one time, you don't give up, you don't commit suicide because the statistic is 3.8 times. So that you have another 2.8 times to fail, you see,
Right.
So knowing this kind of failure knowledge become very important for a person wanting to reach their goal.
Right.
If I may quote from your book, you say that if you can keep on trying after 3 failures in a given undertaking, you may consider yourself a candidate for a leadership role in your present occupation.
Yes.
If you can keep on trying after a dozen failures, the seed of genius is sprouting within you.
True. In fact, I think India provides a lot of stories, I mean, your leaders, the great men in this country, if you look through their life, a lot of them go through great hardship and finally they become what they are today. Of course, I don't need to mention names. I mean, you all will know who they are, you know what I mean? And it happens every day. It happens every day. See?
महक, तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि हर फेलियर को एक नए रूप से देखा जा सकता है कि जिसमें एक होप हो सक्सेस की?
Absolutely. जितने भी हमारे अब तक की जो बातचीत हो रही है उससे मैं यही अंदाजा लगा रही हूँ. इनफैक्ट जिंदगी में बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी होती है जिसके बाद हमें लगता है कि एक बार आप फेल हो गए तो हो सकता है कि अगली बार अगर आप कोशिश करें तो जरूर सक्सेसफुल होंगे. लेकिन यहाँ पर मैं बिली से एक सवाल पूछना चाहूंगी जो बहुत देर से मेरे जहन में है. I'll be asking you one question, Billi.
Yeah.
That in your book, critics are not really very, supportive of you. They always say that you quote other people in your book. So they say that you're copying. How would you justify that?
When you want to answer that question, we have to trace to the origin. Who had the copyright to a word? I mean, then you have to trace to the creator, they never end, because this is, in fact, this is a very big program about intellectual property, You can quote today, I can say my grandfather quote, it was started by my grandfather, So you have this problem. The important thing is, that is not the issue. The issue that we want to share that kind of wisdom. And I have compiled them into a book, that people don't have to go through the life that I've gone through, don't have to waste 20, 30 years to find out what I put in my book, I've gone through that kind of stage. And the thing is, I happen to remember them. I happen to found them. So now I put it into the book, together with my experience.
So it becomes easy for the reader. He gets everything in one book. That becomes really easy.
In fact, this book cost me more than $1 million. I've lost a lot of money. And then through that, it comes into a book. So it's better to learn from other people's mistake than your own mistake. It's a very high price to pay when you fail, very high price to pay. So it's better to try to learn and avoid the real failure that you're going to experience.
Billi, in your struggle to collect data on the issue of failure, and in the course of your moving different parts of the world, you've met several people of in high places. You've met prime ministers, presidents. Who is the person who really got impressed by your philosophy?
I think one of the person is the former Prime Minister of Singapore, Mr. Goh Chok Tong, because Singapore has become such a successful, so-called inverted comma, country. Everything so clean and sneak and span. I'm sure there are a lot of Indians always want to go to Singapore, thinking that Singapore is so perfect and things like that. See, what they don't understand is the people of Singapore have reached a stage. They are so comfortable. They don't want to fail anymore. They are scared of failing, That put them into a stage whereby they cannot go further. They didn't try new things because they're scared of failing. So that is not a very good thing. And because of my book, the Prime Minister, after receiving my book, 2 weeks later he came out on the television. He actually quoted exactly from my book about what is happening to people in Singapore.
You also cite the case history of Japan, which after the Second World War was devastated. The Japanese have not invented many items in the consumer world, but they have, reinvented, virtually reinvented the consumer world, and today they are leaders in the profession.
In fact,
what example would go for countries
Okay.
like ours?
First, I must elaborate one thing. There are two things we can learn. One is countries that go through the Second World War or in Germany, you turn out that today they are the powers, of the world. In other words, they have gone through great struggle to become very strong. The other thing is, like for example, like in India, what we can learn from Japan. Sometimes we don't need to come up with our own ideas. There are a lot of ideas. We can look at something and then we modify it, we make it better, and that will also help to enrich the country. You don't need to actually be the first person to originate it. You just have to make it better. Somebody come up with something like the Japanese. They never invent the refrigerator. It was not invented by the Japanese. The television was not invented by the Japanese. The car was not started by the Japanese. In fact, there's so many things that the Japanese never invent. But they just, go and study, and they are not scared of what people will say, whether you're copying or what. They're not scared because copying is the first step of learning.
Well, Indians are very good at it.
It's good.
And
it's
I'm
good.
sure that once you travel around in the
Yes.
country, you'll find a lot of material for several books that you could write.
Yes.
Yes. And we are very happy that you are here.
Yeah.
And we hope
Yeah.
that you dare to visit India.
Sure.
again.
In fact, I'm very proud of what India is doing, especially in the field of medicine. That you do the generic medicine, or else they will be like in Africa, people are dying of AIDS, because the medicine are too expensive, and they have to follow the rules of the Western world, and that is not the thing to do. So India has made, I must congratulate you all. You all have made the right decision to dare to think for yourself.
Thank you very much, Billi, for coming to us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
थैंक यू
थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you.
धन्यवाद राजीव जी और धन्यवाद बिली.
Okay. Thank you.
ये थे हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में.
हंसी खुशी कुछ वक्त बिताए, कुछ समझे और कुछ समझाए. Check out health, culture, education. Get knowledgeable folks. Evening live show. Evening live show. Evening live show. Evening live show. मायूसों को हंसाएं, बिछड़ों को मिलाएं. Add on music, entertainment, and joy to your lives. Evening live show. Evening live show. Evening live show. Evening live show.
ये है दूरदर्शन और आप देख रहे हैं नेशनल चैनल. ये है दूरदर्शन और आप देख रहे हैं नेशनल चैनल.
मेरा फैसला अटल है. मैं ये शादी नहीं करूंगी. किसी मंदिर में जाके अपने महबूब से शादी कर लूंगी.
सुहाग रात पर उसने मेरे पांव तो जरूर छुए, लेकिन शादी के बाद उसको कदम डगमगा. क्या मतलब? क्योंकि वो गरीब थी, बहुत सारी बंदिशों में पली थी. मेरे बेशुमार दौलत और आजादी के मिलते वो गुमराह हो गई, भटक गई, बेकाबू हो गई. आलिशान कपड़ों, जेवरों और बनावटी खूबसूरती की चीजों ने उसका दिमाग खराब कर दिया.
तू बढ़ता
चल करन आगे निकल करन तू बढ़ता चल करन आगे निकल करन
प्रायोजक